Hello and welcome back to a new video. So today's going to be a little bit different than what my usual content is in that we're actually not going to be fixing anything today. So what today's subject is what's in this box. So if you couldn't already read, it's a digital microscope. This was my birthday present to myself this year. It is an Andonstar AD246S-M HDMI. So there were a couple selling points on why I wanted to go with this one. Well, first of all, it had some pretty good reviews, so I figure I couldn't really go wrong with it. And the other selling point too with this microscope is the fact that it is actually really good for PCBs, and also the fact that I could record content with this. So anybody that's been viewing my videos for a while now knows that like when I do soldering and even like diagnosing, it's kind of hard to see because like I just use my camera and just kind of zoom in as far as I can. But with this, I'll actually be able to do some more in-depth recording of what's going on in the circuit board. So not only is it going to help me as somebody that likes to fix game consoles and other electronics in their spare time, but it'll also help to make this channel even better as well. And the other kind of cool thing about this too is you can also, because it's HDMI, I can send it to my test TV, so I can have an even bigger screen to view what I'm magnifying. So I've actually never done a unboxing video, and I've be honest, I've only ever seen like one in my lifetime. So I don't really know how to go about doing this. So basically what we're going to be doing in this video is I'm going to open this up, I'm going to set it up, and then kind of go through some of the neat features of it and kind of discover it as I'm recording. I think that would be pretty cool. And then I'll also give my first impressions of it. I'm not going to go out and like say, oh yeah, I totally recommend this, you should go and get this microscope, because that's not what the subject of this video is. And I also don't like to recommend anything that I haven't had like a good amount of time working with. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So without further ado, let's open this up and see what's inside. So one first impression I have of this is the box itself. You know, the Andonstar has like a pretty legit website and everything. So I was kind of expecting the box to have kind of like their branding and stuff on it, but it's like such a generic box, like kind of like something you get from like AliExpress. But I think that that's just me nitpicking. All right, so first thing we got here is the owner's manual. Actually looks pretty nice. I guess as far as owner's manuals go. It actually looks like it's in real English. I know Andonstar is a Chinese company. Oh, they spelled troubleshooting wrong. Yeah, this is definitely a lot nicer of a manual than that in that one video when I got the hot air gun, and that manual was pretty much useless. Yeah, there's some grammatical stuff in here, but nothing major. I can at least make sense of it. Yeah, I guess there is some kind of level of broken English. Okay, we got a components list. Got the microscope monitor, the base, beam, the screws, the springs, the metal clips. I think once we get this set up, I think what I'm also going to do is kind of grab some random stuff around my house, and we'll take a look at it under the microscope, and then we'll finish up with an Xbox PCB. Or motherboard, I should say. Yeah, I mean, the little quick start guide seems to be better English than the owner's manual. So nice packaging though. It's definitely packaged pretty well. So here's the monitor. It's actually pretty small, but I was thinking about getting the 10-inch version, but reason I decided against that was just because of space reasons, mostly. And the fact that this has the HDMI capabilities, do I really need the bigger bigger screen when I can just throw it over on that test TV. Yeah, it looks like it's got one lens already attached. Now, the one thing I will note, though, is it is pretty light. I mean, I guess it's not the most highest quality of plastic, to be honest with you. But the buttons are nice and clicky. They feel alright. Alright, so it looks like we got a remote. But it looks like they just take AAAs. I should have a couple AAAs lying around. Alright, so what do we got here? Probably should have paid a little more attention to the components list. What is that? Looks like some kind of remote. Yeah, that's actually not listed on the components list. This might be the thing to connect it to the computer. Yeah, we can try and take a look at that later. Ah, it comes with an HDMI cable. That's pretty nice. Some kind of plastic cover. Not exactly sure yet what that's for. Got some screws. USB cable. But it does come with a memory card. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this memory card or not, though. Because I always get iffy about these brandless, like, included memory cards. I always feel like they're never going to work. I had kind of a bad experience with my dash cam. That one didn't... They came with a memory card and it didn't even work for the dash cam. So this is kind of something cool. Comes with slides. So if you're doing like kind of more scientific kind of stuff. When they said that it came with slides, it came with blank slides. But got the epidermis of an onion, poor honeybee wing, honeybee worker leg, Musca domestica compound eye loading. Loading? There's one more slide in here. It says it's a pine stem. Maybe we'll take a look at a couple of these in a bit. And then it's got the hardware and stuff for the slide holder. The nice little set of tweezers. Definitely not anything of quality, but you know, as long as they tweeze, who really cares? And I believe this is for viewing the slides, if I remember the listing correctly. And we got the other two lenses. This actually comes with 3 lenses. It looks like one of the lenses is already attached. And I guess we can remove this. Now we're really getting into meat and potatoes here. This looks like the beam that holds the lens and everything together. And this must be the column. Actually they're light, but they feel pretty good. I do have to say. Like, they do feel quality to me. And looks like the final piece in the box. And that's the tray. It's got a little bit of decent weight to it. Definitely feels pretty good. Got some rubber feet. Not bad at all. We got these little work lights, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out how to get this together. I mean, the owner's manual doesn't really have anything except pictures, so it doesn't look like rocket science, so it should be pretty easy to figure out here. It says secondary arm bracket. I guess then that goes something like that. That's cool, you can move it in and out. Up and down. I guess we'll figure out like correct height and everything later on. It says these are the lens fixing screws. Yeah, I suppose that that's the image sensor right there. So I guess we should try and be careful of that. Oh yeah, that seems to make sense. Okay, and I believe according to the owner's manual, it says lens L. It's the one for circuit boards. Because then, because it came with 3 lenses, it actually says what application it's for. So lens L, it says circuit board observe, watch repair, etc. Lens A, which is what this one is observe whole size or part of coins, stones, stamps collect, circuit board observe, etc. And then lens D is for microscope slides, so it's pretty cool. And it also says like the working distance, the magnification. It's pretty neat. We'll try lens L first. Yeah, I guess the next thing to do is to put these little feet thingies on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep these in. Just because, like, I don't really think that they'd be very useful to me. I'd probably be taking them off. I mean, I feel like that they'd hit when I'm moving the circuit boards around. It's just until it's even. But then what are these screws for? There's like no mention of them. Well, the same Allen screws are on the bottom here, but there's already screws there, so I really don't know. There's no other holes or anything, so I don't know. I really don't know where these things go. But I guess it's neither here nor there. They might just be spares, because there's a bag that says spare parts, so maybe that has something to do with it. So we are in the home stretch of setting this up. So this was actually the power cable. So this little guy goes into the back here, and that's actually what powers the lights. That's what I was trying to figure out before. I was like looking at them, I was like, how do these power on? But there's a little tiny hole back there. And then this goes into the screen, and this powers the screen through USB. And then this plugs into an AC adapter. Now this is where I kind of have a bone to pick with companies. I went through the packaging, I was like, I had to have missed the AC adapter. They did not include an AC adapter. And I've been noticing a lot of companies have not been doing that. And it annoys the ever-living heck out of me that companies do that. Because I actually don't keep these things around. This is the one for my phone. So now I have to go out and buy another adapter to be able to plug it in, when they could have just included it. These things can't cost that much. But yet they were able to give me a memory card that's probably not usable. Oops. Well, this is going to be a little bit of an issue. So I guess we just got to unplug some things, now that the power situation's figured out. You know what I probably will do to solve the USB situation now? Is I do want to change the outlet that's underneath the bench and change that to a USB 3-prong outlet combo thing. So I might actually do that. Ooh, the lights came on. Because I want standalone USB anyway. I've been slowly in my house like replacing a bunch of the outlets to those USB outlets. They work pretty good. I ain't got any complaints. Okay. Ooh, we got a welcome screen. Because it's safe to remove this now. Ooh. See a picture on the screen. How does this focus? Oh duh, there's gonna be a focusing ring right here. So I'm gonna put a memory card in here. I'm gonna take a picture of the memory card that came with this. So let's go into the menu. It's not what I wanted. Oh, so I guess if I hit OK, now it's starting to record. So if I hit OK again, it stops. And then I guess once I hit the picture, it takes a picture. And then we got a digital zoom. There we go. So what do we got here? We got resolution. So we can do Ultra HD and 24p, QHD 30, 720. I guess that's just HD. So we'll just stick to full HD 30 because that's what my camera can do. Are there any other resolutions? No, that's it. I guess that's just a change. Yep, that's just a change of exposure. Timestamp, date stamp on or off, sharpness, let's keep that normal. Freeze, off, not fully sure what that does. I don't think there'd ever be a time to change, I'd ever change those, but that's actually kind of interesting. Try negative there. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we got grid line setting. You can set the date and time, the language, the frequency. We're actually set at 50 hertz. We're gonna change that to 60 hertz. Format the memory card. That's usually just good practice anyway. And then the firmware version. So yeah, it's actually pretty basic. So there's really nothing too crazy there. So without changing any settings right out of the box, you can just go right in. Okay, cool. So now with that, with everything set up how, well, I guess how I want it at the moment, let's look at some stuff underneath the microscope and see what we can do. So I'm thinking first we'll check out some of those slides. So I'm gonna swap out the lens for the lens D, which it says that that's for microscope slides, and we'll check out and see how this looks. And I'll record them and then obviously put them in the video. And then we're gonna unplug the lights in the back because you can actually plug it in here for the slides. So what should we look at first? Let's take a look at, let's look at the epidermis of an onion. Wow, that's pretty cool. You can see like inside the cells. I don't really know what I'm looking at. I didn't do too well in 10th grade biology, but that looks cool. All right, what else should we look at? Let's look at the compound eye. That seems like it'd be pretty awesome. Now that's sharp. That is very sharp. At least from what I can see on this tiny ass screen. All right, let's try something else. I want to see that honeybee leg. And by leg, I mean wing. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this thing a little bit. The microscopic world is so cool. Take a look at the honeybee leg. I mean, clearly I need more practice with this, but I do think I'm getting the hang of it. So we're gonna switch up the lens here. Plug these lights back in. I'm gonna try that coin one. Or at least the one they say is for the coins, lens A. Also says it could be used for circuit boards. It's got 18 to 720 times magnification. So this one seems like an all-around kind of lens. Okay, so for this test, I actually have my life savings here. So let's take a look at it. And you can see so much detail in there. You can see like the scratches on the coin and everything. That's pretty cool. So now let's try and zoom in. Let's really get in on Lincoln's head here. It's kind of cool seeing the edge of the penny and like the little nicks in there just from being used. Let's flip it over. There, I actually really like the lighting system they have on this. It's very flexible. It's like initials on there. If anybody knows what these initials are underneath the 1 cent banner thingy, let me know in the comments. I'm actually kind of curious now. So I have a goose down throw pillow on my couch, and that thing sheds so many feathers. So let's take a look at one of them. Wow, look at that. Let's get even closer to that. And just look at all the detail on the edges of the feathers there, each individual piece. I guess veins? Is that what they're called? I'm not really sure. But that's so cool. So for this final test before we go and look at the Xbox motherboard, I have the director's brush here. So let's take a look at some cat fur. She's a long-haired cat, so there's plenty of that stuff here. You can even see the dander. Let's swap the lenses. I can put this on the slide holder. We can get really, really close. This is where having a slide would be handy. Yeah, let's get real into Maya's fur. You can see like the individual segments of the fur. Or whatever that is. Somebody in the comments can tell me what I'm looking at here. That'd be awesome. Digging it. Hey, let's throw a PCB under here and see how this is gonna work for my purposes. I'm gonna say very well, considering what I've been seeing so far. So let's look at some chips on the motherboard. So I want to really get in on this NVIDIA chip here. And I am quite lost. There we go. Let's hit record. Yeah, it's a lot of detail on the screen printing there. It's really, really cool. Also a pretty dusty board. Here you can really see the traces there. That'll make finding broken traces so much easier. Because I had to diagnose an Xbox not that long ago that had trace rot, and it was really straining my eyes. Let's get a little more light on here. Keep forgetting about those lights. Like I said, it's gonna take a little getting used to. The hair on, I think that's the RAM chip. Yeah, that's one of the RAM chips. Just imagine getting the soldering iron in there. Yeah, I can really increase my precision. I mean, I gotta get used to it. Kinda moving it across like I'm drunk. This board's actually got an issue, but I'm suspecting it's a bad capacitor. But when I'm diagnosing this board and it's not the capacitors, it could be something like a trace. And if you notice, I did remove those because it was getting in the way. So those will not be going back on. Alright, one more thing I want to try and then we'll wrap this video up. So let's go on to this sticker here. Yeah, that looks really good. Not bad. Looks good on the TV. I mean, the colors are definitely a little different than what I'm seeing on the screen in the microscope, but I mean, it could just be the TV. But yeah, that looks fantastic. That'll definitely come in handy. Definitely worth the extra money, in my opinion. But we'll see if I actually use it or not. That would be the main determination there. So there you have it. That's the Andonstar AD246S-M HDMI. So what are my first impressions of this? Well, I like it a lot so far. It's got all the features I need. It does everything pretty well. I think that with what I pay for this, there's a lot of good value in this. I'm glad I didn't spend the extra money on the bigger screen so far, because I mean the 7-inch screen for my workspace, I think having that little bit of space savings is good. I do like the fact that I can put it on my test TV, so I can have a bigger screen if I really do need it. But I mean, hey, I'm happy so far, and with the extra lenses, I have the feeling I'm probably going to be looking at a lot of other stuff just to satisfy my own curiosity. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to putting some random stuff underneath this thing and checking it out. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. If I think of anything else, I'll just keep you updated in future videos. And I will definitely be also keeping updates on what my experiences are as I'm using it. So keep an eye out for all that. So with that being said, wrap it up here. Thank you so much for coming along. Like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And remember, fix it. Don't ditch it. Have a good one.